Hello, welcome back to my channel. It's Sam from the Soul of Stella. I'm so grateful for you being here. If you are new, welcome to the family. And if you are already subscribed, thank you for being here. I do have another pick a card reading here for you today. This is all about why is the universe testing you right now. So if you're going through something that you're just like, I don't understand, why is this happening? Maybe why is it happening again? And like, when we think about, okay, there's got to be a lesson within this, there's got to be a lesson within this test. Sometimes it's really hard to tell why, especially when you're right in it, right? So this might give you a bit of a helicopter view of your situation. We're going to go over like, what is the nature of the test? What is the purpose? What is the lesson? How you can actually move through it, some advice on that, and the outcome here. I'm using the story dice for my piles today. So pile number 1, you've got the like speech bubbles. So it may have to do with communication, but we'll clarify that. Actually, the A, B, and C just wanted to pop over there. So could be communication when it comes to education. And then pile number 2, it looks like a book with a snowflake on the front, or just perhaps something cold. Okay, and pile number 3, this looks like a ringing device or an alert of some kind. So they are the 3 piles. Use your intuition, take a moment, and timestamps are below. But without any further ado, let's get into it. Okay, pile number 1, you chose the story dice with the speech bubbles on it. So might have to do with communication here, but let's find out. I've got a couple of pre-shuffled cards already for you. So we have card number 37, healing, with the geranium on there, and Taurus energy, Aries energy, sorry. Healing, yes, I feel like you are healing. I think that's part of what everything is going through. There's Aries energy again with the Mars motion card, number 22. And then in the Tea Leaf Tarot, we've got bridge, successfully overcoming a problem. Forest, muddled, unclear thinking. And gavel, involvement with the law. Okay, interesting. All right, let's get some tarot on the situation. We're gonna go with this tarot deck, I think. All right, what is going on? What is the nature of this test for pile number 1, please, Spirit? Healing. I mean, I feel like you're in the thick of it. This is maybe not something that's just begun. I feel like you're, with this forest energy, it just feels like you're in the middle of the forest, and this is what's making you so unclear. It was like at the beginning, you might have been a little bit in denial. You might have been a little bit in your ego, and I mean that in the most loving way, but with the Aries energy here, and just that like red Mars, it's almost like an angry feeling. So there could have been anger at the beginning, but also a bit of denial because you were just like in your ego thinking, I'm stronger than this. And this bridge, it does give the sense of something being strong, and you're usually one who can like overcome problems successfully, and like you can easily build a bridge and move past things. With the gavel and the involvement in the law, it just feels like it might not be something that is directly related to you in the courts, or I just heard with the cops. Yeah, I feel like it's like by default or like by association. And this is where this like this speech bubble comes in. It just feels like there might be some back and forth communication that has been like taken out of context, or someone can't see the forest for the trees. They can't see the clear solution. But I do feel like you're in the middle of resolving this right now. Let's get some more information. What is the nature of this test for pile number 1? What is the nature of this test for pile 1, please, Spirit? 5 of Swords, yeah. 5 of Swords, 10 of Pentacles, 10 of Swords in reverse. Okay, yeah, I do feel like, again, you're in the middle of something here. It does feel like pettiness, though. And this is where this like speech bubble kind of feels a bit like gossip. Gossip has landed you in hot water, or someone said something about you that has put you in a situation that you technically shouldn't be in. I feel like this, like you're someone, the Mars in motion energy, Aries, it does remind me of, the Emperor energy. And with the Ten of Pentacles, it's just giving me Emperor energy, right? It's giving me someone who is like boss energy, someone who like normally gets things done, who normally cuts through the BS quite easily. And I do feel like the Ten of Swords being in reverse is talking about like you're having a bit of mental conflict, quite a bit of mental conflict about this situation. And I do feel like you're probably feeling like not like yourself, not in your boss energy, not in that Aries energy that's normally like a place of power. And you could be an entrepreneur, and so you're normally someone who's very like protective or stable with their money. And I do feel like you've got a little bit of overthinking going on, and you're almost at the end of this. I do feel that. I feel like you've potentially been overthinking, you've been overburdened, you've been over communicating, almost like over explaining is what I'm getting, like over explaining to prove yourself. The bottom deck energy is the Ace of Swords. Yeah, there's some clarity coming through for sure. I do get a sense that things are going to be, I just heard ordered, right? So like law and order. I just feel like things are going to be reordered in your favor. And there is some healing to come from this. So the nature of the test does seem to be one of a gossiping situation, or I was put here because I'm like witness to something else, or because I said something to someone that was taken out of context. It also can have to do with something online with this Ace of Swords, but it does feel like someone's had the wrong idea about you. The swords are all about like mental, intellectual, and things of the mind. It's air energy, and it just feels like someone has the wrong idea about you, and therefore they wanted to almost like isolate you and like pick you out, I just heard. And it might have been because they were jealous. This Five of Swords versus the Ten of Pentacles gives me like a jealous energy, and this was giving me gossip energy here. So potentially someone is not seeing their own ego for what it is, and you've had to learn this lesson, I feel, to face your own ego so that you can go, oh, well, if I can see that person in denial and that person in their ego and that person gossiping, then I've got to take a look at the way that I do that to other people. Because I do feel like if you take your Mars and your motion energy, you're really trying to act through this. You're not just think through this, you're trying to act through this. And I feel like you're coming up, the devil at the bottom of the deck. It does feel like someone with an obsession with you, someone who wants to tie you up in like a legal sense. They want to get you tied up in something that really, it feels like none of your business. This is a really interesting energy, guys. I feel like you may have felt a bit isolated in this situation, which is unlike you as well. I'm just going to read the back of this deck, this card here, actually, because this deck, the guidebook, has messages about growing and gardens and stuff like that. So it says, gardening is cheaper than therapy and you get tomatoes. Yeah, this does feel like someone's been gossiping because they haven't been wanting to go and face their own issues. Now, if this is about you, this is a huge lesson, right? And I do feel like you were the one in denial. Regardless, I think the other person was in denial as well. Or the other party, I should say. It does feel like one or more people. But there's an element of denial, and instead of going to like talk to the right avenues about it, they've actually just spread like hearsay, and they think they're going to get something out of this. They think they're going to get tomatoes out of this, but actually I think your lesson here is to heal your ego, and there's also like a sense of like your healing requires a pause. Sometimes the Mars in motion card can be a little bit too energetic and too like aggressive. And I do feel like there's something here about you meeting another side of yourself. With this devil energy on the bottom, it does feel like you're meeting a shadow side of yourself. The 22 is an angel number. Twos are about balance and duality and partnership. So I do feel like you're seeing, okay, I'm allowed to be vulnerable, or I'm allowed to be weak, and that meaning like I'm allowed to have emotions at the same time as being someone who gets stuff done, you know. I do feel like that's a big part of your lesson here. So let's have a look at the purpose of this test. What is the purpose of this test? We did cover it slightly, but see what else Tarot has to say. The Fool and the Four of Pentacles. To not hold so tightly onto your, and Death at the bottom of transformation. This is, the purpose of this test has been to teach you not to hold on so tightly to rigid ways of being. And in fact, that it's okay to think full of yourself. It's actually healthy for you, healthy and healing for you to look internally and to, I'm really seeing this as like internal, almost like pausing before you leap. So it's teaching you to slow down. That is the vulnerability here. It's teaching you to slow down a little bit so that, not to please anyone else. Let me just get that really clear. This is about holding on to a few things. Like, I'm hearing ideas with this Ace of Swords. It feels like you need to hold on to your ideas a little bit longer so that they're not misconstrued by people who want to tie you up, to want to get you involved in things that will bring you down to their level. There is like a sense of like loneliness in this lesson. Like as you're saving your energy, as you're reserving your thoughts, as you're like rebuilding this bridge, because this bridge is always talking about overcoming problems, but at the moment there's a little bit of unclear thinking. It's teaching you to slow down a little bit, to focus on your own healing, and that's feeling a little bit lonely and not like you. It's not like your normal like fools rush in kind of energy. It's really giving you like a death and rebirth situation. Yeah, patience. It's teaching you patience, and there's the Justice card right there. It definitely has caused you a little bit of heartbreak as well, but I do feel like you're actually tapping into your intuition at the moment, okay, with this High Priestess. And the High Priestess knows things, but she doesn't have to say it all the time, okay? She doesn't have to tell everyone everything. You can make plans and keep them to yourself. That's what I'm hearing there, okay? You can make plans and keep them to yourself. The Three of Swords, you want to take that energy out of your back and repurpose it, is what I'm hearing with this Justice card. Repurpose that, because your justice is almost like success is your best revenge. It's a very passive revenge, okay? Very different to what you're normally like gung-ho about. This feels very specific, so take this as it resonates always, okay? Or this could be to do with someone that you're dealing with, and it's actually healthy for you to see the other side of the equation here, okay? But definitely teaching you patience, definitely teaching you to pause so that you can have a transformation, so that you can end a particular like ego-driven behavior or relationship even, and actually move forward and rebirth yourself. Okay, then you'll be able to take the full energy like you normally do, but with less baggage, okay? Because the traditional tarot of the Fool shows someone leaping off the edge of a cliff with a very little bag, like a little rucksack. So they have rucksack, say that 10 times. They've got very little baggage to take with them, okay? They're just like letting bygones be bygones. They've got the little dog and they're just like, see ya, I'm good, okay? So I feel like you have a tendency to do that, but this does look like, this planet in the background does look like Saturn, and Saturn does give some challenges, okay? So I'm feeling like your challenge at the moment is that you want to rush forward and resolve this, but you're actually being asked to heal, transform, be reborn, really learn this lesson, okay? So that is the purpose of the test. The lesson in this test, let's use a different tarot deck here. What is the lesson I know we've talked about all these different lessons, but let's get a more specific card for you. And if this isn't relating to law, it's possibly to do with work, okay? It's possibly to do with the rules and regulations and systems like protocol that potentially was broken in some way through idle gossip and possibly communication socially that was taken out of context, okay? So what is the lesson in this test for pile number 1, please, Spirit? The lesson in this test for pile number 1. Very clear messages, please, Spirit, because we don't want any more muddled, unclear thinking. The lesson here, loud and clear. Thank you. 6 of Cups in reverse. Something about the past, being stuck in the past, being naive to thinking that your way is the highway, I'm hearing. Possibly being a little bit too unrealistic. And an inability to like see other people's humanity, okay? Or an inability to let go or forgive someone, being quite stubborn and clingy to something in the past. The bottom of the deck is the Empress in reverse. Actually, I'm going to call that Empress upright. If we read the 6 of Cups upright, this is still about the past. It's about nostalgia, something from childhood. And it's about healing and comfort. So the lesson really is whether you are being naive or whether you have been stuck in the past or whether it is a reminder to focus on lessons from the past. It might be a lesson that's been repeated here, and it could involve children, take that how it resonates, or it could involve something that you feel like is a memory from childhood. The Empress upright is talking about creation. There's the Devil again. Yeah, it's detaching yourself from unhealthy behaviors, unhealthy people, unhealthy relationships, toxic obsessions, addictions. It could be like sexual energy, especially with the Mars energy here, and partnerships coming up with the 22. It's about greed and envy and lust and materialism, okay? So really getting out of that ego state. And the Empress is really talking about like mothering energy. She's really talking about having abundance for all is what I'm hearing, because she has the world in her belly. Okay, so she's caring and nurturing. She's sensual. She's beautiful. She's usually pregnant with ideas, right? With this Ace of Swords versus the Empress, this lesson is teaching you to keep those ideas to yourself, but you're going to have an abundance of them when you come from a place of like seeing other people for what they are, and but seeing them for their humanity as well. Like seeing people through not rose-colored glasses, but just remembering that you're not perfect, therefore no one else has to be perfect. This is divine feminine energy, so it's definitely teaching you softness here, okay? How can pile number 1 move through this challenge, please, Spirit? Seduction, attraction, flirting, dating, hooking up, temptation, third-party interference. I definitely feel like that's like part of the lesson. Lightning is the sudden change. I do feel like this has to do with the death energy here. Sudden change, shocking news, surprise, epiphany, upheaval, transformation. All right, I don't think that's the right deck to get the overall outcome and advice. So I might actually get advice from... What deck can I use? I'm going to get advice from this one, actually. All right, what's the... I think to move through this, you might need to pull back on the seduction, and you might need to pull back on big announcements at the moment and really focus on your own healing. I'd do some cord cutting as well to really let go of people that are past poison, okay? Past poison. And then I'm hearing like trimming the tree. When I'm looking at this forest card, I'm hearing like you need to like cut back or back burn, okay? So it's like preventing fires in the future means you have to back burn. That might be talking about like culling certain friends. The computer just agreed with that, okay? So culling certain friends, culling certain relationships, tidying up your potential social media, right? So that you can avoid situations like this again. What is the outcome and advice in this situation, please, Spirit? What is the outcome and advice for pile number 1 in this situation, please, Spirit? There's like jagged interlaced song lyrics going through my head, but it's almost like a static radio, and it's not landing on a particular song, which is giving me the impression that you need to like tune into your intuition so that it's loud and clear, okay? Which might be something that's really unfamiliar to you. You're kind of used to being very intellectual and in your head. Grief. Tears are what happen when the ice in the heart melts. Yeah, I do feel like a big heart chakra softening going on here for you. The advice here is to really, and the blue on this card is really to be gentle with yourself. And through that, you will be able to forgive others. This is a very human heart, okay? It's not a depiction of like the love hearts of Valentine's Day or anything like that. It's a very human heart, and I feel that this situation has almost caused you embarrassment. I do feel like it may have caused you a lot of sleepless nights to the point where it's become a new normal for you, and that might have a real knock-on effect for your ability to take focused, aligned, constructive, clear action. And so it's really muddled your life in certain ways, and it's caused you a lot of grief, especially if this has got to do with a partnership, okay? Whether that's a business partnership or a love partnership, there's a sense of grief here, and you may be actually mourning loss of cutting this person or this party or this situation out of your life, and that's okay. The message here from Spirit is really to like cry those tears out, scream into the abyss. It's okay to soften. In fact, it's really, really necessary for you right now to grieve this situation so that you don't have to relive this lesson again. I feel like with this Six of Cups, it does feel like you've had like the feather of life has kind of tickled you into learning this lesson in the past, and then a brick was thrown your way, which might have been like a thud, like here's another lesson, like version of this lesson, because you didn't quite get it. And I feel like this was the truck, you know? Sorry if I just scared anyone there, but it feels like it just smacked you in the face this time. So really grieve, let it go, move through it with some grounding energy, okay? Get this like Mars action fiery energy grounded, and I'm also hearing like water this fire, and that was giving me with the forest card of like burn back. This is really like talking about watering things so they're not dry and burnt out, okay? So that when a spark lands in your backyard, metaphorically, again, it's not going to ignite the whole house, okay? This blue energy is really talking about like water. You might want to do some bath rituals. You might want to take a swim and dive under a wave if you can, but definitely put your feet into the earth, put your feet into a river, something like that, and just cry those tears out, even if you want to do it underwater, you know, so no one sees it. There's a sense of pride here as well. But you have strength. There's so much personal inner strength and inner fortitude in you. And with this Ace of Swords kind of being repeated in this Mars energy here, I do feel like you're gaining so much clarity from experiencing this situation. You've got non-duality at the bottom of the deck. Let your authentic humanity shine forth while also bowing to the inner divine. You can become fluent at doing both. If there wasn't a more like summarizing message for you right there, it's allowing yourself to be successful and be human, allowing yourself to be soft and strong, okay? So take this as it resonates. I hope this was helpful, pile one. Let me know in the comments below, and I will see you in my next one. Bye. Pile number 2, welcome to your message. You chose it looks like a book. I can't get past the idea that it's a tab open, or it's a book, or it's like a photograph of a snowflake. Okay, so something about like being left out in the cold, or just like a history of coldness. Okay, so I have pre-shuffled some cards here for you. We've got Ascendant card 35. We've got leadership, card 6 with the broccoli. Hope, card 38 with the daffodil. I'll show you these as well. And you got the most cards, I think. And ritual, sweet corn, card number 10. Leadership, hope, ritual. Ascendant, entrance. I feel like this test is to do with bringing something into light, okay? We've got box, you will receive a gift. Yeah, I feel like this is like you've been given an opportunity and now what you do with it is like, oh, sugar, like a big test. Lightning, control your anger or you will be sorry. Yeah, this is giving me the leadership energy of like you're having to like lead yourself first and potentially like lead a team, and working with other people that are testing could be really like testing your energy. Shark, take care or there will be a loss of material wealth. I feel like there's quite a lot at stake materially here with this opportunity that's been offered to you. Okay. The 6 is about harmony and cooperation and healing. So this could be healing the way you've been like led in the past, and this does give me work vibes. So it does feel like or family. Yes, something where you have to collaborate or work as a team is what I'm getting from this. But it feels like the past version or the past like role models of leadership have almost like taught you haven't been good leaders, okay? They haven't shown you the way is what I'm hearing there. They haven't shown you the way. There is Libra energy here, so definitely balance coming in. And I do feel like you're having to work some magic, okay? Because you can just hunker down and eat a piece of broccoli like that. I don't know why I just said broccoli like I'm American, but broccoli. But it's kind of like really super crunchy, like you're just hoeing into the whole thing. And I'm just feeling like you need to cook up something, you need to steam something, you need to let something soften a little bit. That potentially has to do with yourself, okay? Because you've also got like this 2 energy underneath, and this is talking about balance and duality and partnerships. The 38 and the daffodil here, the hope. I see other people looking to you for answers and looking to you for like answers in a difficult situation. They're looking to you for hope. The Taurus energy here is giving me a vibe of you're having to be really like calm in this situation, and you're having to be really loyal to what you started or what was like provided here, okay? The corn does feel like something that is like stable or something that is fruitful, because corn grows quite readily, right? The Leo energy feels confident. And the 10 feels like a renewal. It feels like time to harvest something. And rituals usually have to do, like if you think of like a ritual in, you know, you could think of Halloween. It can talk about a time of harvest. But I feel like you've got some layers you need to peel back on this situation to get to the gold, okay? And there may need to be some cleansing of your personal energy. Yeah, your personal energy. But also some cleansing of a space. It feels like you're in a creative work environment in this situation. And so therefore, the leadership is... the leadership examples have been blurry. The leadership examples haven't been... I feel the word abstract. They've been abstract. And what the people are looking to you for, whether it's family or work, is someone to guide them, right? To ascend, to help them elevate this situation into this like first new stage. Because I feel like with the 10, it's something's completed. Now you have entrance and it's like, this is a new chapter. This is a new phase. It's turning a new leaf. You may have bought a business off someone. You could be in the winter and you actually need to lead this team towards I don't know what time you would harvest corn, but I'm going to say summer, just because it's like that's when the sun is in the sky the most, right? And this is dealing with Leo energy, so I'm going to say summer, and the Leo is the sun. But yes, I do feel like you've been given something, an opportunity, a role. You've bought into a business, but you need to be careful not to like screw it up. I just heard. You just got to be careful not to screw this up. And this is a test for you because, yeah, I'm just feeling like you've potentially been left out in the cold before materially. This is giving me 5 of Pentacles, okay? So it's feeling like you've been left out in the cold before. You've had loss before. You've had material depletion before. Like a sense of some kind of poverty, whether that was mindset, finances, and the computer says yes, okay? So what is the nature of this test? Can we get a really clear message here for pile number 2? What is the nature of this test? I'll take all of this. Knight of Pentacles, 9 of Cups, Ace of Pentacles, Knight of Cups. Wow, okay. Yeah, you're feeling, I won't say naive. Death at the bottom, transformation. Pile 1 had death at the bottom as well. This does feel like an ending and a beginning. And my throat chakra just completely, excuse me, closed up. Whoa. Are you scared of speaking your truth in this situation? Because the King of Cups is underneath here, and then the King of Pentacles is underneath here, okay? Then you've got the Page of Cups. And I was going to say it doesn't feel naive, but with the page coming out, there is a sense of naive emotions attached to this. So you're feeling emotionally like a little bit triggered, and you're like, this is a new emotion for me to feel not 100% in my like confident era, okay? With this Leo energy, you might have Leo energy, or you may have Taurus or Libra energy here, but it just gives me the vibe that like you are the kind of person, no matter your sign, you want things to be equal and balanced and fair and loyal and calm, okay? You do have a creative flair, or you do have like, not like a love of drama, but like you want things to have like a certain like standout point. You want to stand out from the crowd. This King of Pentacles is someone who like knows how to make their money, and the King of Cups is someone who knows how to like rule their emotions. But I feel like there's a death of those parts of yourself, and it's actually been transformed, like a rebirth situation of those parts of yourself, so that you can come out. It's almost like a massive level up that's going on here for you, okay? Because the Knight of Pentacles and the Knight of Cups, those two cards, the kings here, right? You typically have felt like you're emotionally mature and financially mature, but actually at the moment you're feeling like the teenage version of that, okay? And I just heard the Mutant Ninja Turtles, okay? Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I feel like you've got a team of people who some of them are a bit like, how you going? You know, and that's like an Australian slang term for like, some of them are not the best intellectually minded people. They may be super creative, but you're asking like a square peg to fit in a round hole. And so you're having to learn how to manage, possibly like take a helicopter view. And I did say that in my intro. This might be like you taking a helicopter view of this situation. But I feel like you're going to do that quite well, because you're also in this teenage phase, which feels like an apprenticeship phase. It feels like someone who, well, not an apprenticeship, but like a graduate phase where you're like, okay, I'm here, I'm on the books now, I'm like in the payroll, like I've got to step up. And it does feel like you're, in that sense, you're able to relate to these like Mutant Ninja Turtles who have got to like step in line, and not in like a contrived way. You're not trying to like micromanage people, but I do feel like you're trying to get everyone to work together cohesively. And this is where you've got to keep the hope, and someone's possibly had hope in you to turn a business around and bring the business out of the cold, okay? Or to bring the family out of the cold. And you've got to like tame your anger. If you're looking at the King of Pentacles as like Capricorn, they can have like a really like passive aggressive kind of, no offense, but like they can have a passive aggressive kind of anger that can come out. It'll just be simmering under the surface. You'll have no idea, and then it will come out. And it can shock people like lightning, right? And I think it will shock you too, but you're simmering that. There's something about like steaming and like pre-cooking something. You're really in this like beginning phase of helping something to work. I feel like you've pointed in the right direction. I feel like as you step over the threshold here, you are headed on a new journey. It is going to put you through some phases, right? Some phases of like emotions, I'm hearing. But it's going to put you through some seasons of ups and downs on the charts, okay? So potentially when it comes to income, when it comes to productivity, when it comes to like stats, okay? So I just feel like the stats aren't going to be 100% smooth, but you have an expectation that they will be. But I think very quickly you're realizing that the best way to come at this is actually to be okay with being not a beginner, but like the graduate, okay? And through that, you're actually going to get a whole new like diamond of a lesson here. This is now turning into the lesson in this test, not just the purpose of this test. This lesson is teaching you to be independent. It's teaching you to be emotionally fulfilled by yourself and without, okay, so often the leadership role comes without praise. Not many people as proteges are going to look up straight away. Like it might be years before they look up and say, wow, thank you so much for everything you've taught me. Okay, so I'm really feeling like it's almost like you're suffering in silence, but it's teaching you that you can fill your own cup and actually be rewarded in other ways. There's rewarding work that is coming from this, and rewarding in terms of like material wealth and abundance and opportunities. But the opportunity for you and the lesson here is actually such a diamond of turning something completely around. This is like teaching you that you are the diamond. Although there's so much material opportunity yet to come, and it's going to test your emotions again or your resolve about that balance between leadership and like the hungry employee. You know, the hungry employee that's like, they have to call the manager every 5 minutes and be like, so I just spoke to so-and-so and this happened and this happened. And do you know what? I solved it. I did this and this and this and this. And oh my God, it's amazing. You know, you're just like, yeah, that's your job. You know, that kind of person that just needs constant reassurance. Not saying that you were that person, but you're teetering on like, someone notice me, someone give me praise, someone tell me that I've done a good job. And whether you're like going home to your family and you're recounting your stories and they're like, yeah, cool, and they're not really like giving you that enthusiastic response, I feel like the purpose and the blessing and the lesson is that you're going to feel like, look at the mirror in this 9 of Cups. It's going to feel like you're all alone in this wasteland, right? With the dark background here, it feels like you're really like walking through this in some sense alone. You might have a team that's working with you, but the blessing is you seeing the sky or seeing like blue sky thinking for yourself. It's seeing the depth of yourself. It's seeing the depth of your poise, of your grace, of your leadership, of your like determination. And it's seeing the depth of you, of your internal validation, your ability to like self-care, self-love, self-nurture, and not keep it to yourself, but own it. Just quiet confidence is what I'm getting from this 9 of Cups. It's just this quiet confidence that you can own, and it just feels, you know, like, damn, it's a really proud, fulfilling feeling here. And I do feel like you're being brilliant brilliantly rewarded for it. That's actually going to have a ripple effect, okay, across the whole family, the whole company, whatever. But you're definitely in like this, okay, figuring out kind of stage when it comes to you personally and the way you lead and the actual like profits, okay. Very specific message. This transformation is huge though for yourself. It's a something that you've had to learn. I feel like it's been a long time coming as well. Like, I feel like you've been left out in the cold long enough that now you've got this opportunity. You have no other choice but to make this work. And that's why I think you're being quite hard on yourself. But it does have a sense of fun to it as well. And it does feel like forward movement. It does feel like, although you know, the stats and the metrics might actually be like 10 steps forward, 2 steps back, ignore them for a minute. I know that's like not financial advice. This is not business advice, not in coaching mode. This is literally about like celebrating your small wins along the way and actually seeing that the overall trajectory of like the year is actually moving forward, because the 2 knights, they do move forward, and they, as we saw on the bottom of the deck before, they do become kings. And there you've got the Queen of Pentacles as well. So potentially through this, you're actually like leveling up another person to be your vibrational match when it comes to leadership. You might actually have a protege that really levels up, or you meet a partner who's really leveled up and understands. When you come home to them, they understand what you're going through and they're able to say, yeah, sugar, good on you, amazing. Okay, so how can they move through this? Oh, interesting. 9 of Wands and 4 of Cups. 9 of Wands. Let me clarify this. How can we move through this? And the King of Swords is upright on the back there, and 8 of Pentacles. I mean, there's definitely a lot of toiling going on here, so this is how you're going to move through it. With the 9 of Wands and the 4 of Cups in reverse, it's about getting excited about this situation and like coming out of the woodwork with yeah, it's staying excited and not blocking yourself. Like, I just heard a very specific term. My spirit guides are very cheeky. COCK, blocking, okay? Don't do that to yourself is what I'm hearing. You've got the King of Swords, the 7 of Pentacles, and the Moon. There will be certain things that are hidden from you in this situation, but I feel like you have a strong knowing about them anyway. With this Moon card, it can talk about secrets and things we don't know. It can talk about like dark night of the soul kind of moments, but it also talks about seasons. And it can talk about healing as well. This is Pisces, Cancer kind of energy here. But I feel like you're able to intellectualize enough and you're able to think clearly enough that something isn't going to nothing's going to like elude you. Nothing's going to deceive you enough that it's going to throw you off course. This is actually really good, like realistic kind of advice from Spirit here to move through this energy. Stay working. Don't get too bogged down in the details, but make sure you're crossing your I's and dotting your T's, okay? The Death card is here again, okay? So it is talking about transforming I'm seeing mindset because of the antlers on this card, okay? This just feels like something about your mindset. Don't get too bogged down in the details. But also, like, there's a sense of, like, stay excited about this. Don't let your hope diminish here, because you do have the wherewithal to get through any night. You can light up any night sky with your clarity, okay? And the 7 of Pentacles is again talking about, like, planting a seed. So this seed of excitement that you can retain throughout the challenges of like moving this situation from the front door, like the entrance, and then like if you look at it like a house, a house being built, you're putting a door, an actual door on the threshold of this house so that the cold doesn't keep blowing in, okay? It may take a day or 2 to get the door like locked and in position and like secure. Once the house is secure, then you move through and you're like painting the walls, but you're understanding that the color might not matter at this point. What matters is that we're actually getting progress done. And as long as like it's done well, there's a sense of like, do it once, do it right, and do it on time. Okay. And that's where this seed of excitement is actually going to inspire everyone else that you have to work with. And just the fact that I thought of a home, then it does feel like family again. Okay. So it just feels like whether your workmates become family, or this is actually talking about like bringing a family out of the cold and rebuilding something possibly materially, to bring everyone together. Your leadership and your excitement is actually going to lead the way. It's going to be contagious, so that even when things feel a little bit like dark and gloomy, or they feel like disillusioned about something, you're able to be the one that speaks truth over people. You're able to be the one that you're not like sugarcoating anything, but you're also not being too direct in terms of doom and gloom. You're actually like up leveling people through your communication. Okay. And that's brilliant. You're actually smashing your own boundaries, and you're smashing your own mindset when it comes to that. I think that is such a gift, and that is a blessing. You've been given multiple blessings within this opportunity is what I'm hearing. So let's get a few of these little cards out. Twin flames, yin, yang, zen, balance, union, duality, coupling, complement each other. If we're talking about a work situation, it just feels like you are going to find someone that's going to really like help you through this situation, or you're going to find the balance within yourself. Often like the twin flame journey does talk about like solo leveling up first. So that might relate to you in a relationship sense, but in a work sense, it may really talking about like, if I level up first, everyone else is going to follow suit. Okay. And it's an energetic thing here. The sword and rose, clarity, truth, revelation, solidarity, force, honor, protection, and power. And that's coming out over the King of Swords. So I do feel like that, yeah, that solidarity that you have as a team, that honor that you have, that you've been granted this, but also the honor to uphold what was before, but also uphold your own version of leadership, not the version that came before. You've got seduction at the bottom, attraction, flirting, dating, hooking up, temptation, third party interference. Yeah, don't let temptations take you off course, especially if they're bright, shiny objects. This is having about clear goals, clear mindset. And like I said, it's like, although there's a creative element, the color on the walls doesn't matter right now. What matters is we do it right, do it once, and do it on time. Okay, so let's get an outcome and advice card for pile number 2, please, Spirit. What is the outcome and advice here for pile number 2? Very exciting kind of challenge for you. Allowing and inner child. Yeah, okay. Allow me to give compassion and love to that little one. Let me attend to its deepest needs and feelings. There's a blossoming of like a dream that you had when you were a child, and there's a blossoming of this graduation energy of these 2 knights. Okay, it feels like you're growing into someone you can be so proud of. But also someone that isn't all up in their head. They're actually a beautiful, balanced leader. Allowing, radical acceptance says yes to reality in any given moment, so what's needed can come next. Radical acceptance is so needed, and that is the clarity of the King of Swords. It does feel like the entrance as well, this ascendant kind of energy. Something that's rising up, okay? And you're allowing this progression to happen. You're allowing the ebbs and flows to happen. You're tempering your quick to anger kind of reflex. You're aware that there are some sharks out in the world, and especially out in the business world, that might come for you. But if you remain humble, okay? If you remain humble, if you remain like steadfast in your vision, and you allow the flow of all of this to come through, as long as you're shutting that back door behind you and you've got that mindset of, I'm not letting the cold in anymore, keep building the foundations of this house. Okay, metaphorically, whatever that means to you, keep building the foundations of this house, because any given moment, what's needed will come next. There's a very much like powerful mindset that you are having, and I feel that's the diamond of the gift, is your mindset strengthening to a point where it can't be crushed. It will actually cut through all the muck, okay? And diamonds are formed under pressure. So I really feel like whatever you've been through in the past has taught you to get to this point, and now it's time to level up. Wow. Impressive, pile number 2. I'm so thrilled for you. I'm sending you all my love. Please let me know if this resonated in the comments below, and I will see you in the next one. Bye. Pile number 3, welcome to your reading. Your story dice is the buzzing device. Ding, 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 ding. Like, it's like an alarm or an alert, or just like your phone popping off there. I have pre-shuffled some cards for you. This is your reading about why is the universe testing you right now. So we have debilitated discomfort, card number 14, looking like a whole ass matrix going on here. We have Jupiter abundance, card 23. Very nice. And victory, card number 44, nasturtium, if I'm saying that right, nasturtium. And we have axe, forces working against you. You didn't have to cut me off. That's a Gautier song. You didn't have to cut me off. Stalk, news of a birth or a new business opportunity. I feel like there's a delivery. Caterpillar, things will not always be this way. A change is coming. You're in the morph stage, is what I'm feeling with that. And four-leaf clover, great, good fortune. Yes, get it. I mean, this feels like a very, you know when people say, like, this feels like a good problem to have? It's like a lesson that is, it's like a higher level problem. So I'm just going to take a drink of my water, sorry. Okay. Do you need to hydrate? Have you had your water today? Yeah, I feel like this is something that, because this looking like a matrix, whew, I just got really lightheaded. What is going on with you guys? Whew. I feel like something's kind of like knocking you off your feet, but like in a good way. So it feels like, and this is just an example before we get into too much detail here, but it's giving me the feeling of like a sudden influx of money, like a win or something like that. And not saying that's your situation, but it feels like I've just been bowled over by good news to the point where it's like overwhelming and like, oh shit, like now what do I do? You know, it's like, yeah, giving me higher level problems. So this gives me the vibe of like you're elevating, but you have to find your own way there. It's like take the right staircase, and it's almost like a maze, a minefield. And minefield, but then I thought to myself, mind field. Okay, so you're feeling like something might blow up at any moment with every step that you take, but in fact, even though the road is windy and exhausting and your knees hurt, there's like this tabernacle in the middle. There's like this little hidden compartment where it's almost like a James Bond mission or something like that, like the Matrix. Like this card did initially give me the Matrix, but it feels like one of those movies where they're like sliding underneath the laser beams, you know, and they're coming down through the ceiling to get the treasure, to get the diamond. Yeah, so I feel like there's a level of discomfort that comes with this expansion, with this abundance. Jupiter is all about expansion. Jupiter is about like blessings, really. And this is Sagittarius energy, but it feels like a cornucopia. Like there's so much food, or there's so much material possessions or wealth or opportunity that it's almost like overwhelming on the table. Do you know what I mean? Like that something's just like filled the table up so much, like it's gonna go bad. Yeah, the computer's like, yep. It's like you just have this like discomfort that something's going to be pulled, like the tablecloth's going to pull out from underneath the table, and then all the food will be spilled and wasted. Or you can't eat it all and before it goes off, before it goes bad. Interesting problem to have. Let's get more into it. I mean, the 14 breaks down to a 5, and the 5th house has to do with self-expression, creativity, but 5s also have to do with instability and conflict and change. Okay, so I do feel like there's a sense of instability. It's like ding-a-ling-a-ling, here's the message that you've been waiting for. Actually, they both break down. Both of these break down to 5 numerologically. So there's conflict, there's change, and there's instability. But I feel like it's change in the best possible way, because then you've got card number 44, angel number 44. And the 4s are all about manifestations, new foundations, stability, like structural strength, and like patriarchal strength as well, like royalty, okay? This sense of victory and this Aries energy, it's a fiery, passionate, ambitious kind of success that you're having here. But I'm feeling like heavy is the head that wears the crown. Just momentarily, heavy is the head that wears the crown. And that's why it feels like the universe is testing you. Like, okay, here's your gift, pile number 3, but we're going to make sure that you're just like worthy. This is probably what's going through your mind. Like, I'm being tested of my worthiness, even though I've proved it time and time again. And I think this news is what the alert is. The stalk that's coming through is like, is it a new baby? Is it someone that you're slides into the DMs and you're like, holy moly, this is everyone that I want. Everything that I want in a person. Sorry, not everyone I want. Everyone I want in one person. You may have made a list of like pros about past people and you put it all into one person. You're like, that's my ideal, and ta-da, ding-a-ling, here it is. But it does feel like a business opportunity, or it does feel material overall. For most people, I'm going to say it's a material thing, especially with that Jupiter energy there. Jupiter, yeah, it can also talk about like higher education and travel. So take that how it resonates. And the stalk does talk about travel. So it's something moving from one state to another. Let's just say that. And not necessarily like a physical country state, but more like a state of being. The caterpillar, yeah, I feel like you're in this morphing energy. And the 4-leaf clover obviously is like really good news. Let's get some more info into this, because this is unlike either of the other 2 piles. Oh, that really wanted to come out. The 2 of Swords. I feel like there's a decision that's been made here to bring something into balance. You're taking the blindfold off and actually going, oh wow, I am that abundant? Sugar. Like, now what? Yeah, these cards are really slippery, so I'm trying to like shuffle them without like bending them, because they're, yeah, breaking. That gives me another indication as to your mindset. I just feel like you're feeling like, see how this gold edge, something's like coming up roses for you. Something's like bathed in gold or paved in gold. I don't know why I said bathed, but paved in gold. Like the road ahead is paved in gold, but you actually feel like it's quite fragile. And this is where I feel like you're wanting to build the foundations and the stability of this victory card with the 44. You're wanting to really stabilize this. And that is your higher level lesson. The nature of this, Knight of Cups. Feeling like you don't know what to do with all of this like joy, right? I'm like, oh, sugar, look at this person like absolutely celebrating life. But it also is a messenger, like they're coming forward, something's traveling towards you with a message of good news. It feels like such a joy, but it feels like divinely guided joy with the rainbow coming down. I'm going to take that as the nature of the test. It's like, how do I deal with all this joy? What is the purpose of this test? The Emperor, teaching you how to be entrepreneurial. Interesting. Teaching you how to like stand in your power. I'm going to take that because I wanted to flip. I think that's the King of Pentacles. Get out. The Emperor is like the graduated version of the King of Pentacles, I must say. It's like if you own a business now, or if you like were the manager of the business, now you own the business. If you thought things were good before, now you're like King Ping. I just heard King Ping. Wheel of Fortune, absolutely. That Jupiter was also giving me Wheel of Fortune vibes as well. So the purpose of this test is really about finances here. It's really about money. It's really about leveling up your mindset. There are some things still in the dark. There are some things that you don't quite know. There's possibly some illusions too, but I feel like the sun is just around the corner because the sun is in the background of this card here. This does kind of look like a bit of a devil energy, but I can't quite pick what that mask is. Is it a horse or a dog? Like a dog with big ears? I know I've seen that in like the history books, but I can't remember what it is. Stay away from like petty gossip, but I also feel like this Five of Wands is like, if we work together, we can make something of this. It's just going to require like a period of time where there might be clashing opinions about what to do. Ace of Pentacles in reverse. Yeah, okay. The purpose of this blessing, I'm going to call it a blessing. You're seeing it as, why is the universe testing me? This is a huge blessing, and you're actually like, your mindset is being tested to see it as a blessing. That is the entire like test. Because this is like a bright shiny object. This is a diamond. Diamonds are formed under pressure. Diamonds can cut anything, right? And they're like man's best friend. This is something we're all working towards. We're all like, this is a lofty achievement, you know. We all want a ring on our finger. We all want to be the diamond level, whatever. This is royalty, you know. It just feels like the dawn has, it's like a new dawn is what I'm getting with this when it's upright, but when it's in reverse, it feels like you just haven't recognized it for what it is yet. And I think you're really being tested to be like, okay, here is you who knew how to do X, Y, and Z, and you really proved yourself. You really did have solid, stable foundations as it was. There was a level of comfort about you, but with the Emperor energy, you're asked to kind of like level this up, and I'm probably overusing that word, so I want to like break that down a bit more. How can I break that down a bit more? I might use this deck. Explain the Emperor energy and the level up here. It's a wisdom. There's a worldliness to this that you're now understanding. It's almost like if you made it locally, now you have to prove yourself to the world. Does that make sense? It's like, if you can make it in Australia, this is what a business coach once said to me. If you can make it in Australia in small business, you can make it anywhere in the world. You can particularly make it in the US is what they were talking about. But this might have to do with like historically, the wisdom of the world, or you're tapping into like the history of people with a similar problem is actually going to like eclipse your understanding of the material world and the game, right? There's this checkerboard or chessboard underneath here. There's something about like the game of business or the game of like passing through a new level. There's this archway. It just feels like a game parlor, like the neon lights and stuff like that. It's like a progression through one like level, literally like a game level, to now I'm asked to prove myself on a higher level because this opportunity has come in, but I'm not seeing it as an opportunity. I'm actually seeing it as a test. But this Wheel of Fortune, and it can talk about travel, even because it just reminds me of the World card, okay? But it feels like you have pushed to get yourself to the position that you were abundant and successful. And you've pushed this wheel into alignment to be the person who gets what you're asking for. And I feel like this is a careful what you wish for kind of situation, and you got it. You got that notification. You got that good news. You got that great fortune. Now you're in this goop stage where you're like, oh crap, I feel like a beginner again. Or not quite a beginner, but as I was saying to pile number 2, you're more like a graduate with this Knight of Cups, but it's testing your emotional stability. It's testing your naivety. It's testing your mindset. It's testing your ability to appreciate is what I'm understanding here. And I think this Wheel of Fortune has really said you've come full circle. The wheel has turned in your favor. So why can't you see it? And I think there's a level of fear here. And that this moon can often talk about illusions. That's why you're just not seeing things clearly. And it might just be because the whole path ahead isn't like illuminated for you yet. You're like, well, if I have to travel for this, or if I have to move overseas to make this happen, or if I have to unlock this next level and I have to now incorporate my company, or now I'm in charge of the company, or now I have the success that I've worked so hard to achieve. I feel like there's like a 10 to like 15 year kind of time period where potentially you've been working in this one particular field. And now that you've got it, you're like, well, I feel unprepared, but you're so prepared. You have so much wisdom of I'm hearing like of the emperors that came before. Like with this victory card, it just feels like you have a lot of role models that you can actually tap into. You have a lot of people that historically you can look back at and be like, wow, well, that person did this and this person did that. I mean, for some of you, it really is a royal situation, or it's a fame situation, but it comes with great reward comes great responsibility is what I'm hearing as well. But yeah, it just doesn't feel like you have all the answers. Like if I have to move, well, how do I, once I get there, where am I going to live? Or there's something emotionally disjointed about how you feel. There's something emotionally discomforting about this. And this is why it's making you feel like a graduate with your emotions. You're like, I haven't been tested like this in a long time. But actually, it's such a blessing. I just want to just get some more information on that Emperor, though. What is this Emperor? For pile number 3, please, Spirit. What is this Emperor? In the purpose here. There's a very purposeful message. When the cards are quiet like this, it's like, yeah, there's a very specific message for you. King of Swords in reverse. I mean, if we look at like the Emperor from the Aries like ego point of view, it's someone who rushes in, right? The Fool rushes in. And I'm feeling like you're just not sure. You're not sure how to balance your ego in this situation. It feels like you are like teetering on you're teetering on like this. I think the forces working against you is your own fear and your own mind, because this axe, it represents a sword, right? And the sword has to do with mindset and intellect, but you're over intellectualizing something. You're on the verge of like becoming egotistical about something, or impulsive or rude or aggressive about something, potentially like ruthless in your pursuit of this. But not even in your pursuit. I'm thinking like it's almost like you're to the world, you're fronting. Instead of being like a humble brag, you're like trying not to front. But that would be the Emperor in reverse. So this Knight of Swords, it does feel like this Knight of Cups, like a graduate who is learning to not be these things. Learning to not be a bully about this situation, and learning instead to be compassionate and joyful and grateful. Gratitude. Thank you, Spirit. Is that the lesson? Is there any more of the lesson? What else in the lesson? The Hermit and the Hanged One. Take a pause. Take a good look inside yourself and take a pause. Because there you will be illuminated. There you will find the answers that you currently can't see. With the moon energy that was on the bottom of the deck, that one just wanted to pop out as well. The Knight of Wands. This passion, this go-getter attitude. Again, graduate energy. It just feels like you definitely are moving forward. Just you don't want to move forward in a way that feels like restless, or you're uncomfortable with things moving forward in a rushed or rash, like bullish kind of way. You know, you're wanting to move forward smoothly. Not everything's going to be smooth in this situation. I mean, the caterpillar has to eat little chunks of his leaf and then has to push its way out of the cocoon. And if anyone's going to help that butterfly out, its wings aren't going to be strong enough. So I feel like even though you're wanting things to be, and your ego is wanting things to be all like the sands of time, like smooth like the sands, it's actually going to be blowing sand in your face, okay, is what I'm feeling from this like sandy desert and the Egyptian pyramids in the background there. Your wisdom has to trump your discomfort, okay? That is what I'm feeling there. And when this lesson really is about, let me just... See, I'm starting to feel rushed. I'm starting to feel like anxious about this situation. There is a level of anxiety that is coming through, and I think it's because of the details that you have been so meticulous about in the past are now wishy-washy. And although it's an amazing problem to have, this great good fortune, this abundance that's come through, it's like you just want to know where everything fits almost immediately, and it's not going to happen like that. There's this sands of time kind of thing that's coming through here where it will all play out how it needs to, and play out is what I'm really getting. Like there's a new like playbook, there's a new guidebook that you have to like lead by now, or like lead yourself through or believe in, right? With this Knight of Cups and the Knight of Wands, it's like this graduate into a new world, a new echelon, a new societal, material, like plateau. Like you've just gone like almost overnight is what I'm feeling. You just have to come to terms with this is what I'm feeling. You don't have to hibernate away, although it might be good to keep some of this to yourself at the moment. The spirit is just asking you to find a new perspective. They're asking you to see the gratitude, feel the gratitude, but also see the blessing for what it really is in your expansion, in your spiritual expansion is what I'm seeing with this. You're being asked to have a whole new, it's like an awakening. To not fall into the reverse of this Emperor, to not fall into ego. You're being asked to rise to a new level of understanding for what it took to get here, for who you are at your core, for your morals and values, for what impact you want to leave on the world next. Okay, it's like a pause to appreciate where you've come from, where you are right now, and appreciate meaning enjoy the moment as well. Fire up that passion and see how this person is like launching to grab that moon. It's like grab those unknowns by the hand and let that moonlight guide you through this desert and through this new sands of time. And through that, you will find a new like soul growth is what I'm really getting from this. A really new soul growth. And that's going to have an impact on other people, I feel, as well. This Hermit energy, it just feels like you're so close to having like a new epiphany. So even though you've had this win or this infall, or what does infall mean, Sam? Influx of like luck, there's still like the lesson is just one more piece of the puzzle is actually like an awakening for you. With the Page of Cups underneath, it's going to feel like something so brand new. It's going to feel like something's in balance. There's two cups here. It feels like something's going to come into balance, and it's going to like humble you big time, but also inspire your creativity. Like it's going to bring fresh ideas. And it could even possibly bring a relationship. I feel like you're going to have a lot of people come out of the woodwork and like want to make amends with you as well, or want to make friends with you. And obviously we did see the Five of Wands underneath at the beginning of the bottom of the deck. Like just be cautious of people coming back around now that you're at the top, okay? But I do feel like you're in a position where you can open your heart and be compassionate and not actually turn this Mars energy into something unhealthy. You don't want it to become like devil energy, where you're obsessed and addicted and yeah, just like locking yourself into a toxic position with all this good luck. There's just too much nice, happy, good, abundant, and like legacy giving vibes that can come from this. You don't want to like close yourself off. Ostracize yourself, I just heard. Cassette, outdated thinking, conditioning, replaying events over in your head. Yeah, this is asking for you to really up-level your mindset as well, and not have old stories running around in your head. You know how you might not know if you're super young, you put your pen in the cassette player tape and you wind it back, right? You don't want to be doing that. It's like, throw this cassette in the freaking bin, okay? Because that old story, and I feel like it's an old money story. You know, when you like you've probably been impressioned from a young age to think money doesn't grow on trees and you have to work hard for it, otherwise you're a bad person. Only rich people are mean. There's these stories running around in your head that you really are being called to like let go of at the moment. Another one flipped. Kisses, unconditionally loving, giving and receiving affection, falling in love. There's your Page of Cups. Potentially a relationship is being harmonized or brought into balance or brought into your life. Potentially someone coming towards you with a cup of love, okay? The Butterfly, relationship evolving to the next phase, healing the inner child and growth. I feel like this windfall has given you like higher level problems, and that might, although it's taken away some financial issues for you, I do feel like it's made you focus now on, well, how can I improve my relationships as a result of this? And I think that's a really good problem. And that's, butterfly is coming over the caterpillar. So you definitely will get through this. You will build the strength. You might not have the support that you're asking for or that you think you need, right? That you think you need, but it's actually, you have all the answers within you. This is giving magician energy, okay? And this snake, as it's like moving through the, like the sky here, it just feels like something's really like recreating. It's creation, dream time is what that's giving me. It's giving me dream time. So it's something just like being reformed, and through that you can create a whole new world within and external, okay? So internal and external. Wow, interesting message. That's how you're moving through. You're just like one bite at a time, getting that nutrition that you need, that fulfillment that you need, those lessons that you need, the wisdom that you need. Tap into the like historical references. Keep like moving your kings and queens around. There's no need to checkmate anyone. You know, you're just playing the game. And just have this gratitude is what I'm really getting. That's how you're moving through this. And through that, you will gain your wings to fly to even greater heights. And actually through that, like, you're going to inspire people. When butterflies like fly past someone, they're just like, they take a minute of awe and gratitude. And people really are going to be looking at you with a sense of awe and inspiration. And there's like heavy as a head that wears the crown. There is something like leadership vibes about this. That it's like you were born for this. You were born for this. So you just have to believe that you were. What is the overall outcome and advice for pile number 3 here, please, Spirit? Very different messages, all 3 piles. Companionship. There's the 2 like loyal memory bank elephants, right? Elephants have a memory like nothing else. Giving someone your complete presence is an astonishing gift. Yeah, this is humbling you and teaching you to appreciate every single moment. Companionship and the Page of Cups, okay? I feel like this is happening quickly. This relationship that's coming in is coming in quick as a result of everything else that has happened here. Potentially dealing with a fire sign as well, okay? Then we have grief. Tears are what happens when the ice in the heart melts. I think your heart is reopening as a result of like all this pressure and debilitated discomfort, like almost like a sigh out, like a breath and a pause. It's giving you this time out to really like take stock of everything and be like, wow. And there's a grief attached to the old life. You've got courage. Let me be open to courageously take the steps that are shown. Yeah, this is like giving air energy, and like when something's taking flight, you've got the courage now to map out your like your new blueprint. It's like a bird's eye view, and you're just seeing your new city, you know, like you're creating, it's like a Sims. You're creating this new world. With this Wheel of Fortune gives me world energy. There's a courage here. And again, you've got the elephant here with its trunk in the air, which is this good luck. This good luck is everywhere. Elephant, elephant. Individuality. Every person has their own personalized study plan in this Earth school. Wow. Pile number 3. I'm so proud of you for whatever this is. I feel like you really deserve this. And this was like imprinted in you, regardless of the stories that were told to you. I feel like you kept a belief within yourself that told you that you were born for more. That is what I'm seeing with this. You were born for more, and you've had the courage all along. So don't doubt that this gift, this blessing, is in fact a blessing and not a test, okay? I do feel like you're going to have to protect what you've created in new ways, but it's not as fragile as you think. Remember, I was shuffling the cards and worried about bending them. Things may bend, but they won't break, okay? With this tower underneath, the only thing that's breaking down is these old stories, is what I'm feeling. These old stories and limiting beliefs are completely being ridden out of your psyche, and through that you're able to open up your heart again, grieve for what was, and actually let love come in all these different ways. That might be in family, it might be in friendships, it might be in romantic partnerships, but also the love of like what you do here and what you can do for the world now going forward, how you can keep pushing this Wheel of Fortune into like luck for other people. It feels like a very giving energy, okay? So congratulations, all the best. I know this has been quite specific, but all 3 piles have been. So let me know in the comments below how this resonated, and yeah, I wish you all the best. I'll see you in my next one. Bye.